Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have some very important news coming up. This is especially a crypto warning coffee because there are some signs that we need to keep in mind that are not looking as good for Bitcoin and the markets. Some scary news that are coming in from across the world and that can affect or that can have massive impact on the Bitcoin price, on the crypto market, on the overall markets. And I want to talk about this today in this Crypto Morning Coffee. We are also going to talk about some other price indicators for Bitcoin. We are going to talk about Ecomi token moves, and we are looking into the mysterious selling whale wallet from Veve today, which I prepared for you guys, but all of that right after the intro. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the freaking Friday, so almost weekend, guys. I am looking forward to that one for sure, as well as some of you. Yeah, I want to quickly thank you guys for being subscribed, for smashing the like button. If you haven't yet here in the live stream, then please smash up the like button. Very important to get more people into the live stream. Very important to push the live stream out to other people. If you press the like button, YouTube thinks, okay, seems to be something that I have to show to some other people. So let's do this to double the numbers here and get more and more people into that information. Also, please keep in mind that I'm a crypto and NFT investor, not your financial advisor. So please do your own research before you apeful degen into Ekkomi, Veve, Bitcoin, altcoins, and whatever other investment opportunities that we are talking about here. And also, I want to thank my rare hodlers, my patrons, my channel members here for always supporting me on my journey. You see them on the backgrounds, the only sponsors that I take for this channel. You guys are supporting me. I do not bore you with any advertisement breaks here for any scam crypto projects or I don't know what. Click the link to to get some bonuses. No. We are only doing this. Energy is already here in the chat. Good morning, Energy. Who else is here? Without taking too long, let's just jump in. Marwok is here. Moin moin. Good morning to you on this Friday morning. Let's jump right in because we have some news scare, and actually my camera was on the wrong side apparently. Okay, so this one is the scary news of the day, and it has the potential to evolve into a black swan event. But let's look at one by one. So the Bank of Japan tweaks ultra loose monetary policy, and the bond yields jump after the central bank revises the limits on 10-year government notes. So that looks like nothing first, right? So Japan is doing something, who cares? But apparently, and this is also new to me, there is something very big attached to these government bonds, and the Bank of Japan has injected greater flexibility into a cornerstone of its ultra loose monetary policy. We know that Japan was floating on a 0%er with the interest rates almost for a decade, I think. And then they started some rate hikes also for the first time in I don't know when. Good one, Energy, that you got your coffee. The central bank said it would continue to cap the yield on 10-year Japanese government bonds at 0.5%, but would allow long-term interest rates to rise above that level without setting rigid limits. So before that was also limited. The BOJ also said it would offer to buy 10-year JGBs at Japanese government bonds at 1% in fixed rate operations instead of previous 0.5%. So that is a lot of math. But they have been buying back, or they have been buying the government bonds, and they have artificially kept the yield rate stable on these government bonds. Japan is the only country in the world with negative interest rates, and any reversal of this strategy would have sweeping implications for global financial markets. And there you have it. Strictly capping long-term interest rates could affect the functioning of the bond markets and the volatility in other financial markets. Such effects are expected to be mitigated by conducting yield curve control with greater flexibility. The BOJ said in the Bank of Japan, is the BOJ, said in a statement on Friday at the conclusion of a 2-day board meeting. So the 10-year Japanese government bond yield rose to a high of 0.541% following this announcement, and the yield had breached the 0.5% yield cap for the first time in 4 months earlier in the day, following a media report that the central bank would adjust its policy. So it has basically depegged, if you want to say so. The Japanese yen, which had strengthened against the dollar in morning trading, fell as much as 1.1% and so on. Good morning, XR Marty 1999. You have a little bit tweaked your name, right? If I see that correctly, but it's all good. Hello everyone, I'm only 5 minutes late today. Congratulations for catching the stream in the very early stages, and please smash up the like button if you guys are joining just right now. I just saw this before the stream, so it's not fully clear to me yet what it exactly means, but we also saw this. The ECB is warning of a global bond market meltdown if the Bank of Japan changes their policy. This hodler friend, so to say, I don't know him, but he has hodler in his name. That is apparently must be something good, right? He has put this out already on the 1st of June. So Japan has propped up global debt markets by pumping 3.4 trillion into foreign markets, but sticky inflation could force those capital flows to reverse, leading to a debt tsunami. And that is basically the breakdown of the entire problem, because that warning came out almost 2 months ago. Now it is exactly coming that the Japanese changed their policy, which leads, according to the ECB, the European Central Bank, to a global bond market meltdown. So will this global bond market meltdown come? That is the big question. Here we see the Japanese, international investments. So the cumulative Japanese purchases of assets by country during Kuroda's term, North America, Latin and Caribbean, and we see here really 50.1 trillion yen, 50.7 trillion yen in the Cayman Islands, 5 trillion in Spain, 10.7 trillion in France. There is in Luxembourg. So there are massive investments that could basically affect the entire global markets, where Japan has basically purchased these assets and could be selling those assets in a massive wave. So this is at least what I believe that they are estimating. Once again, I just saw this right this morning, but I thought I have to inform you that there is a risk of the global financial markets falling into massive turmoil, and therefore Bitcoin also experiencing some massive volatility. Yeah, maybe we can just quickly, we do a little bit of order change just to see the effects right now. So I have teased this in the thumbnail, and there is really a big warning in this. So if we look at Bitcoin here, we see that Bitcoin after the Fed meeting has fallen off of this technical sideways movement, right? This consolidation before a potential breakout. And we have seen that Bitcoin is ever since bearishly retesting and now in the red since in the last 5 days, basically. So this is really no joke, because if we bearishly retest and come down, we could destroy our entire cup and handle pattern. There is only, so you see this here in the weekly, right? I will drag this out a little bit so that we have the full view on what this means on the weekly, which is the most important thing. We have only 2 days, and this is why I say this is warning, yeah, because we have only 2 days and 19, let me get this out of the way so you see it, 2 days and 19 hours until this red massive candle closes, and we would actually have to have this close above roughly 29,876 for us to be to continue this pattern, right, in the weekly chart. So yeah, and now with the markets being red and Bitcoin being sometimes correlated or to the S&P 500 and to the stock market, this is really not a good look for Bitcoin at the moment. So Marty says, many businesses in the US are very slow. I talked to a girl from FedEx. She said it's never been this slow. Yeah, and that's exactly what is happening. I mean, for example, I work in a logistics industry, and you also see these trends, like logistics and digitization industry. You also see these trends of a slowdown across the board. So, and I'm sitting in the EU, and we had a lot of struggles. So we don't know how deep the recession will go, but definitely. Just from a Bitcoin perspective, which is the main market here, that is something that could lead here to more downside. We don't know yet, and it depends if the government can turn this around in Japan. But you have to know that there is this, you have to have some powder on the sidelines. You have to know that there is something coming up. Ivor says, good morning. Do you think Ekkomi will rise over resistance level when Veve is released? Dan said it will be released in a couple of weeks. I will come to Ekkomi later. I will try to put this a little bit in order here. So I will come back. I promise. I will come back to your question later. XR Matt says the BTC halving might come just around a financial crisis or the end of a financial, like the turnaround of a financial crisis. We don't know. If the recession does not go as deep as we think, then we don't know yet. But you could be right there, Marty. You could be right. Caro is also here, bringing us a screaming dinosaur. Good morning to you guys. So with that said, we need also to look at the DXY, and I do this quickly because remember the last stream I had still thought about, have I drawn this wrongly? But the reaction of what is happening in Japan was already there. We just didn't know about it, but it was already in the charts. So let me just refresh this. So here we go, right? So last stream I was thinking about, have I drawn this line wrong? And I decided I did not. I will leave it where it is, where it's most confluence. And actually, we have broken above again, and we are rising. So there is strength coming into the dollar. Also probably because if there is financial turmoil in the yen in Japan, and the yen is devaluing, and a very important currency in the world, and people from the yen are moving capital into the dollar, then that strengthens the dollar. So the dollar is rising. That is interesting. And we see that we have actually breached above this previous support again and found support again, and we are rising up right now. So this is bad for all risk on assets if this is happening. This is bad for Bitcoin. What we would need is a signal to the downside. And now we will see how much the DXY will be able to rally and how much this will come up. And if we are actually able to breach these previous highs for the dollar that we had and find a turnaround here, that would be really, really bad for the crypto market, because that would not mean that we will see some massive red days for crypto in general. This doesn't mean that it has to happen, and we always say that the trend is your friend, and this is the trend. The trend is down at the moment on the DXY. There is no change in that, but considering the news that we have just seen for Japan and the potential global bond market catastrophe looming, we have to keep a close eye on Bitcoin, on the DXY, on the development in the markets. And guys, I'm about to travel to Croatia, but I will take my notebook with me and everything that is necessary to, in case of crazy moves, do videos and streams. So that will be happening. Again, this is what is looming. This is crisis potential, and we will observe it. I don't want to paint there any catastrophe on the wall. I don't want to say that this is happening, but I want to make you guys aware of it. So don't say that I have been profiting the crash. That's not a crash prophecy, but it is something that we need to keep an eye on. The other side is, as Marty says, the one side is the official US side, and the other side is what you hear on the streets and what is the reality of businesses and people's perception. And we have seen in the last streams already that some people perceive in the US that the economy is getting better. And we see here also data that the US economic growth accelerates to 2.4%. However, in the second quarter. And this does not mean that anything is coming as good. This government needs desperately good numbers, right? We know that. And this is official numbers, and you can tweak numbers, but let's take them as they are to have an objective view on what we have here. And then on the other side, we also have the perspectives that we get from the chat. Marty says Croatia rocks. I hear they are very crypto friendly. They are. They're really cool, really good country, really nice people. I love Croatia, 100%. So economic growth in the US was stronger than expected in the second quarter of 2023 as activity proved resilient in the face of Federal Reserve's campaign to aggressive interest rate hikes. The world's largest economy grew by 2.4% on an annualized basis between April and June, according to preliminary figures. That marked an acceleration from a 2% growth rate in the first quarter and was well above 1.8% rate hike predicted by economists. So it exceeded the expectations. We are seeing some encouraging signs of resilience, especially when you look at private sector demand. So US economy seems to be more resilient. We will see how it turns out, but this could be that the recession is actually not getting as deep as some might think. So we have a little bit mixed signs, global financial market and the US. Also, this doesn't mean that, for example, the UK is doing well just because the US has a little bit of US economic growth. But overall, mixed signs, good signs from US economy in that quarter. We will closely observe. I had picked this out from Gensler, but it's not so important. You can look at it yourself at Bitcoin News. I will not do it today because of time reasons. This one I think was interesting. Sleeping Bitcoin wallet stirs after 11 years, moving over $30 million in Bitcoin. So the anonymous Bitcoin whale is up over 600,000% from their 2012 purchase of BTC at $4.92. So that is not mined BTC, that is BTC purchase. And that wallet, holding over 1,000 Bitcoin, has suddenly awoken after an 11-year slumber, transferring out its entire stash. So potentially liquidating 1,000 Bitcoin. The 1,000 was transferred amid a Bitcoin price. And guys, I saw in German news that actually there was potentially the same guy. In German news, there was someone also with a similar amount of Bitcoin that has just found their keys after 11 years to the Bitcoin stuff. So very interesting. Could be the same guy. And that would mean that someone is really, really happy right now. So we are cheering for people like that. We want to be like that one day. And yeah, but this obviously another way. 1,000 Bitcoin is nothing in the end for the entire market. So no one needs to be afraid like that the market is tanking because this guy is taking profits. But yeah, it happens, and it's some of the unmoved Bitcoin that is now back in circulation again. Also need to be considered, but that is what this whale did. Then yeah, basically only once again the Fed has hiked the rates. A couple of weeks ago, they have announced another rate hike, but doesn't mean that they really are going to do this, because this time they have shown, basically, we now believe that the Fed is on a prolonged hawkish hold. What does that mean? Prolonged hawkish hold means that they're not going to do a quantitative easing soon, but that they are going to hold the rate steady now. In our base case, their next move will likely be a cut, but it will take until 2024 until we see it. That said, Powell will have no choice but to keep the threat of hikes alive. Least he encouraged markets to prematurely price in cuts and reignite inflation expectations. And that is also the line that Powell did. He basically hinted more to a rate pause. He will always keep the threat alive to hike more. But according to what we see from the data, and they also say they will take data-driven decisions, that could be that we will remain stable until next year and until 2024. And that would coincide with the halving if there will be rate cuts in 2024. So this would be the bullish perspective on all of that. We will see how, and we will observe how inflation data comes in. But right now, it seems that the Fed could be just being steady where they are. With regards to Bitcoin, here is, once again, we are looking at all the perspectives and all the charts. And what we are seeing here would actually be the pullback that we have. This is from Stock Money Lizard. So first, resistance and consolidation, then breakout and 2023 year-end target $45,000 to $50,000, retest 35 to 40,000 and halving bull run. So he is basically from the performance of the last one, from the last bull run, deducting into this one that we will have a pullback and another test and then a little pullback before we are even going to break out here for Bitcoin. So the pullback that we are experiencing right now would make sense in the analysis of him right now. But obviously financial collapse of the bond market would not fit into this pattern anymore. So we will see how hot the soup actually gets eaten, right? Then also, this is interesting in my opinion, here from Charts BTC. What do you think Bitcoin? Where do you think Bitcoin will crash to basically next time? We see here right now the Bitcoin lows basically of the wicks of the wick crashes. Bitcoin crashed to $2. Bitcoin crashed to $152 to 3,129, and then Bitcoin crashed to 15,632. I will say that if we are pumping to something like 150,000 plus dollars, that we then have at least a corrective move to $40-50, I don't know. But if we are just challenging 300,000 or something like that in the next bull run, which could happen, then obviously always I'd say we're correct like 70 to 75% in the next bear market of whatever we are getting to. But yeah, also very interesting. Then this year is also a good one. Bitcoin is in stage 1 early bull market. That is always the blue dots. This is from Plan B. This is the I think it's the stock to flow model. Of course, BlackRock wants to buy cheap just before ETF approval and just before stage 2 full-blown bull market, right? So the gray line is where the price should be, and as we see here, after the halving, the stock to flow gets corrected, and it's sitting somewhere at 500,000 probably, as it looks here. And we see that always with stock to flow, the Bitcoin price is moving alongside and coming, always getting magnetically pulled to this gray line. So we are under it right now. And it says basically where we should be in the cycle right now. So according to stock to flow, Bitcoin is underrated. Stock to flow is not always correct. You see this here, right? The deviations are massive, sometimes above, sometimes below, but still, the overall pull is correct. So we will see, right? So Bitcoin should be at $55,000 according to this model right now. Very interesting. Then last one for this, and then we go into the charts a little bit more, but only a couple of minutes more, and then we are going to look at the Veve Whale wallet. But here, this is something that I have not seen before, also very interesting. The marking of a parallel channel with the tops, with the previous Bitcoin tops, very similar to the previous run. If you draw the parallel channel, and now we have this move in the parallel channel and retesting on top of the parallel channel, according to this, should take a full another month, right? Very, very interesting parallel channel structure before the next massive bull run. So this early stage, so this seems to be going until to September, October here, this pullback. And if that really was happening like that, that would coincide with this, where we basically saw in May walk away, and then you come back in September and so on. So yeah, we will see. But I expect this not to be happening in 2023. This massive run here, so could be drawn out a little bit more. Let's look at the market. Actually, let's look at top 100 first. So we are mostly red now on the week, on the day. IMX is pumping, by the way. Immutable X is 12% up. And on the daily, let's look at the top 200. Who's the biggest loser? The biggest loser on the day is MakerDAO with 6.5%. Just so you saw this. Top 200, we also want to look, because actually we have Ekkomi in the green, 0.1%. There we have it. Let's get my face out of the way here. So Breeze is correcting from the previous pumps. RLB is taking a massive hit on the weekly. OMI is up 6.5% on the weekly, but with all of that is going on in Bitcoin, we don't know how it will perform. We're not taking too much time up here, and we actually want to go into. So we have looked at Bitcoin. We know what's happening with Bitcoin, but we see, or we look at Bitcoin dominance quickly. Bitcoin dominance is obviously in this market situation steady. But yeah, altcoins go down. Bitcoin, but has dropped below 50%. So Bitcoin dominance is now at 49.78%, and the total altcoin market cap is also holding steady at the moment. Also here I will quickly refresh just in case that something got stuck on TradingView. So no, it didn't. It's just a little bit more red than before, but here we see we still have this consolidation here after the massive altcoin pump, after the winning of the lawsuit of XRP. That said, here's another indicator for the altcoins. So Mustache is saying here, I think altcoins are about to start a very strong rally. Looks pretty darn similar to 2020. The problem with these things is always that you're looking for similarities, and then on the other side you have these massive news pictures with what is going on in Japan right now. So it looks pretty darn similar 2020. BBW squeeze signals are strong move since the beginning of 2023. Have you ever pushed a ball underwater? It's the same with altcoins. It doesn't work forever. So as we see here right now, and this is important for the NFT space as well, we have a similar pattern with two failed tests to break above. Here the red crosses, and now we have this suppression from the bottom line, which is upward sloping for the crypto total altcoin market. And basically, if we see this here, I think this is on the weekly, so yeah, we could change to the weekly here, and then we basically see this the suppression here in the chart. This is the suppressing line, basically would be the suppressing line, and then on the other hand we have this upward sloping movement here. So that is basically the squeeze that is happening right now. I think they have drawn it a little bit bigger. Where is it? There it is. No, it's actually on the same ones. But there we go. Probably on the logarithmic. Anyways. And the BBW squeeze signal is here on the bottom. And that is basically which implies a huge move in the altcoin. So, and this is where this could happen, and this is where if there are some red days, we could just DCA into altcoins, into the altcoins that we want to have, just in case that there is this massive rally really coming just around the corner, right? I don't know how you guys feel. Let's look at Ekkomi because of altcoins. Almost threw my coffee off the table there. Oh my god. Okay, Ekkomi. Ekkomi is, so we are observing this one again, right? So from technical standpoint, yesterday I've outlined this. It's a little bit reddish right now. It was in the green before, but Ekkomi has broken above this falling wedge line. It had already broken above several times and corrected into it once again. But right now, Ekkomi is holding in the upper part of this trading range. You see this here, right? This price action, and I think it's driven by the anticipation of the Veveverse once again, because once again Dan has teasered the Veveverse here, and once again people get excited for Veveverse, and that is why we have this price action right now. Seems to be actually the MACD. I showed this yesterday to you guys. I've shown this yesterday, guys. The MACD has flipped a little bit bullish here. Stochastic RSI is overbought, or is the momentum shift, let's say. And then on the weekly, this is a green candle, right? But we cannot forget the overall trajectory here is this, right? The overall trajectory is this here, yeah. So you are trending down here, but we see that this looks like curving, right? We might not be right there yet, but this could look like something like this in the future for Ekkomi. And if we have this break here, that could be good as well. So if this wedge is really, it looks like, there are a lot of confluence points, right? The bottom line, I think, is no discussion of this wedge for Ekkomi. I think the discussion is the top, because if you take these points, for example, here it didn't reach it, right? Here it didn't reach it. Here we have a wick out. So the big question is, for example, some people had drawn this in like this before, yeah, where this is a fake out and this is the point, and then we would already be out since a couple of weeks and there's just no reaction to it. So the big question here is, where I also question the TA on this, is basically where are we really with this upper line of the wedge. But I have decided to draw this in. I will leave it like this, with the confluence points here and a wick out that didn't happen here. There is a lot of confluence. Energy says, so when 0004, we don't know if and when, because there is nothing that implies this. The only thing that I see right now is that we have broken out of the chart pattern that I drew in, but that doesn't mean anything, because as I said yesterday, if we go back into the daily chart, right? Look at this, there is no breakout volume. This is no breakout volume. There's just the same, look at this, there's the same volume. You would want to see something like this, right, in the volume here, like something like this. And you want to see bigger green candles lining up here in the volume. So for me, breaking above any line without breakout volume unfortunately doesn't do the deal. So we really have to be realistic here. I mean, I also want to have Omi pumping, right? But this, we could just drop back in, especially if Bitcoin corrects a little bit harder, right? So yeah, but we have this big green candle, and also this big green candle is basically, it is engulfing. So it's engulfing this entire 3 candles with the candle bodies. So there is basically a bullish engulfing candle, right? But then again, yeah, did we have that actually? We had that here as well, right? These 3 candle bodies. No, actually, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But anyways, so Ekkomi is mysterious, and if you don't want to miss out on a major move for Ekkomi, if they announce anything, then you have to accept that you can DCA in this range, or you play a really risky game and you say, I'm just putting in buy orders here or down here and just wait, and if I don't get it, I don't get it. I am right now at 2.1 million Ekkomi. 2.12, something like that, million Ekkomi, right? I have bought a little bit more, you know that, because of what we saw here on the channel, the donation frenzy. Conker is here, too easy to manipulate till we have at least one big exchange. Yeah, and that is really also the problem. There's such a low liquidity that whales can manipulate the price fairly easy. So my theory is that Ekkomi is sitting between 2 massive buy and sell walls, and here's just they take profit here between them, right? So yeah, that is something that the Ekkomi on-chain analysts have to basically look at. Okay, then let's talk about the NFT market a little bit and the news. So yesterday, the Todd McFarlane collectibles have been minted. It seemed to be a success, but then again, wait a second, there was some, yeah, it seemed to have been a success. But then there are some news about the problem actually during this, and this is not me hating on Todd McFarlane. On the contrary, I think it's great. Cool collectibles, looks great. I don't have one, but I'm observing it obviously. There is this so according to Veve Meister here, also from Germany, there are several people who have very important mint number 1. So several people with mint number 1. We see it here. Look at this. Mint number 1, mint number 1, mint number 1, mint number 1, not 1, 1. So, and we see also in terms of this color rarity, we have 2 yellows and 2 reds, and then here's some difference. So there seems to be a minting error actually going on. So as K says, there are different variants, but that means that in the different variants, there are the same mints available. So there's a number 1. We cannot see really the rarity here, but this seems to be the same rarity, right? And this seems to be the same. I'm not sure if there are different yellows and different rarities for that. Yeah, they are different types apparently. like for example Legendary and others has his own mint numbers. So that would be like if there would be a number 40 mint or a number 200 and something mint for every comic rarity, right? So it's not the minting error, but yeah, for me still here, I don't know if this is the same rarity or not, or to be honest, right? Maybe this red is not the same, but then again, then you have 6 different rarities with number 1. So it's weird to me. I think there should be only one number 1. But yeah, that's how McFarlane toys look in the store. And here it is how it looks actually in the showroom. So this is from Kyle Wilson. This is how the collectibles look in the showroom. They look the animations. I mean, they look really good. The showroom running around is a little bit doesn't feel so smooth, but I mean it looks good, right? And we hope that Veve pulls off something like this also. So these are the animations of Todd McFarlane stuff here. I just wanted to show this to you so you know what's going on in the market. And as I said before, there's nothing bad. I mean, it's not that competitions do not kill Veve, right? Competition does not kill Veve. On the contrary, I think it will have a positive effect on the entire market if people are successful with these collectibles here. That is these collectibles. Also here, Chris Coffey has put out a small one here with his Batman in the showroom. So these showrooms look really good. Veve knows what they can look at, maybe learn from these showrooms. I think it's genuinely good that Todd McFarlane is a success, and I hope they survive. Really, I honestly hope they survive. But they will, I think. Then there is a little update here, also from Veve Meister, by the way. If you don't, he's putting out very good information. So if you are not following him yet on Twitter, then you should. He really has some cool stuff that he brings out. So various bug fixes, optimizations, and enhancements are in the last update. So it's more like an update on app infrastructure. Crazy Dan says there is a signature on the rare ones. Black only has 49 mints and blue signature only 1 or 2. Oh yeah, right. So that could be the reason why there are some rarities also double with 49. Maybe there is a signed number 1 and then an unsigned number 1 or something like that. So there is a signature on the rare ones. Black only has 49 mints. Crazy. So that is very, very scarce, right? Very, very scarce collectible. So let's actually jump over this quickly and let's go to our whale topic. So we have observed in the last, I think it's now already 4 streams or so, the 4th stream that we are observing this whale selling off. And now we are updated on the 27th, so yesterday again, and we still see actually the number has gotten lower here for the wallet with the 77477, the whale wallet that we are observing. 1 second. So here, let's look at it in full screen. So this wallet, we are observing this wallet because it's offloading a ton of collectibles, and we have theories why. And one viewer has posted the complete wallet address here, and I looked into it. So the theory here was that he is rebalancing his portfolio with low mint collectible sales and repurchasing something higher. So you see here the sales are 1,247 and 19 collectibles were purchased in the last 7 days. So very low collectible purchases. He is minting on drops, but he loads of massive collectibles, and we have theorized that he didn't dump it in the market. Good morning, Luke. How are you doing? Good morning, everyone. By the way, can I ask you guys once more to smash up the like button on this one here, especially for the Veve Whale analysis. So I have looked into it on Immutascan. So this is the wallet address, right? and you can here search. If you go to Immutoscan Veve, or in general to Immutoscan, you can see, you can enter the address and look up the token ID yourself. So if you want to do it yourself, I will actually, yeah, I will post this later down below on the video. But so here we see, so we have transfers here, and you see, so he's sold, and he's probably flooring, at undercutting the floor by a lot, so that flippers buy his comics, right? So look at this. As we said, as we theorized, is really proven. He is flooring low value common comics in masses. So look at this. Fallen Sun, Death of America, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then here more, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he is selling just these, he's selling these off in masses. Here we see like common comics. Here we see a lot of Mr. Fantastic collectibles that he is look at this, the masses of Mr. Fantastic collectibles, then Groot common collectibles, or uncommon, I think. Then another wave of Fallen Sun comics. So he just had a bunch of those. He had a stack, and then we see this one here. We don't know if, probably these are purchases right now, right? So probably these, we cannot see if it's, I think we cannot see if it's a, can we see if it's a purchase? So this is the, let me see what this means, this column. Yeah, okay, it's 2. So, so it should be his own wallet then. So this is not a purchase, right? Yeah, this is not a purchase. So he also sold the Harlequins and a lot of these, but he has a lot of low value collectibles that he is flooring for sure, right? So it really seems like rebalancing. Look at all of this. So this was 9 hours ago. A lot of bad girls. Yeah, so we see a lot of this. Then Coca-Cola cans, also low value collectible. Then Invisible Woman's, Queen Ramonda, John F. Walker. So maybe he also purchased super cheap and it's still profit taking for him. The stamps. So a lot of bubbleheads. He's really flooring a lot of the bubbleheads. A lot of Harlequins. So he just, I would like to see if I could find a purchase, but since he has 1,000 collectibles, it's a needle in the haystack, right? Because he is flooring 1,000 and we are looking for 19 collectibles over 1 week, and this is only in the last 17 hours, all of the sell-offs, right? So yeah, I'm looking at the wallet addresses where it's purchased to, but I think I cannot look at the stuff here. Energy says, so maybe he reached MCP level. Oh, by the way, the chat needs to come back. Here for this one, we can already have this back. So maybe he reached MCP level 100 and didn't need anymore a lot of the same crap. I think it's unlikely, because even Dr. Profit is not at level 1. Maybe he wants to buy sets for MCPs or so. I don't know, but could be the reason. But he, with this massive like multiple stack, he doesn't get as many points for the different collectibles, right? Michael Camper says Vivi Meister was messing around about the mint numbers for the Todd drop. Yeah, maybe. Crazy Dan 420 says the blue signature McFarlane is at the 2000 Matic floor on their marketplace. Interesting. 2000 Matic, what is that? Like 1,000 US dollars? Not too shabby. It's more than Todd. Or around the same as Todd on the Veve app, right? I guess you only have to stop at Grails and check if these are bought. Yeah. But the problem is there are tokens here that don't have metadata, right? So maybe even if there's a purchase, then yeah. So the big question is, has this whale been buying Grails? That is the big question that we need to solve. So yesterday I looked a little bit through this list, but I only found these massive sell-offs, and then again, yeah, we do not really know. Um, maybe someone can help out here and look specifically for grails or so, but yeah, it doesn't so I don't see secret rare comics, I don't see grail collectibles at all. um I mean, grails would be Toby, right? I just joking. It's no Toby's here. Invisible Woman sell off. So massive unloading of these, let's say, quality collectibles. Then there also probably he's been minting stuff. Yeah, we don't know. These are all transfers, no mints. Yeah, he had everything in stacks apparently. Oh, there he is. He sold Toby, rushing Toby and so on. He sold Toby's. Yeah, maybe the purchases are even flips, right? You never know. This could be, yeah, but also you have to see one thing, right? With all of that being sold off, with all of these stacks, actually we can refresh also here on the wallet, I think. Um, and see, yeah, look, he is still flooring 13 minutes ago, 36 minutes ago, 1 hour ago. You see really, he is still flooring collectibles. So look at this, for example, Iron Man. I think this is the Iron Man that I have bought some of him. He is if that's him, he is undercutting by 30-40 cents under the 2 gem floor so that people buy it, because someone has asked on Twitter how he is doing it, that he sells the collectibles, and I think he's really, for all of these transfers, this is not listings, this is all effective sales. So he's really doing it so that people so that people are buying it from a flipper's perspective, right? Yeah, so that is happening. Let me see if I can find this directly on the market. What is that? Iron Man, that's Iron Man 28, right? I'm here on the phone. Iron Man 28. Let's see. Not 28. Oh yeah, comics. Iron Man. Iron. Yeah, there we go. 28. Yeah, that's the 28. Yeah, so the floor is there. The floor is sitting at 210, and it seems that he had undercut this below, and people were just purchasing all of these. So someone has purchased all of his Iron Man comics here. But you see from the hours, also 9 hours, 7 hours, and then this guy doesn't sleep. he's just flooring every 1 or 2 hours. He's just flooring more and more collectibles. But yeah, we will see if he is. We will see if he's dropping, if he's going to drop more, or if he's done at some point, right? Very, very interesting whale movement here for this whale. We can look quickly a little bit more into how the other whales have been behaving. So we see here Dr. Profit bought 2 collectibles. Number 2, Danny bought 47, then 588, number 4, 526 collectibles overall on the 5th place. So someone really stacking here. 60 and 64 collectibles on the next. So everyone is stacking besides this guy. And then we have positive, like the net accumulation here on the side is just positive. This guy has been selling 19, buying 5, so not too big of a deal. But here is all positive, between 0 and almost 100 collectibles. 200 collectibles here on place 35. Yeah, there was someone down below that has bigger purchases going on as well. I remember that, but it's more than a week ago, I think. Or is it still? Where is this line? There we go. Yeah, so yeah, this guy is already down at is not anymore at the 400s as it seems. So this one has 70 collectibles here, but overall, gradually the top 100 seems to be largely stacking, largely in the plus. What do you guys think about this? This could be, I mean, if most of the whales are behaving like this, yeah. So here, why are we watching these moves? Because it's a top 10 whale. It's this one. We are watching the move of the of number 9 of the top 10 whales. Doctor Strange. We are watching it because I think it's relevant if a player that had over 10,000 collectibles is selling off more than 2,000 collectibles within 1 week. Then we need to analyze why this person is what this person's doing, because we didn't know what he was doing, and we assumed that he is flooring low value collectibles, and I thought it's interesting for us that are buying these things how someone who has such a large stack is behaving. And yeah, I think it's relevant for the floor prices and also to understand why some collectibles are dipping heavily on the market. That's the reason why I pulled this up. If you are not interested in that, then I cannot. I'll understand that, and then we are not going to follow this anymore, obviously. But I thought it is interesting, so that's why I pulled it up. That's why I pulled this list up. Crazy Dan says, I'm heading out on the boat salmon fishing early tomorrow morning. Gotta hit the hay. Have a great day, everyone. Happy fishing. And yeah, I hope you catch a good one. Don't get eaten by the whales. Yeah, some real whale watching. So yeah, I hope you fish some good salmon there. Awesome stuff. Let us know in the next live stream how that went. And I would really appreciate that. Guys, I think for today I'm at the end of the stream. Smash the like button once more on your way out. It's the freaking Friday. Happy weekend for you already. Stay tuned for videos and material coming out on this channel. There will be some new nature backgrounds in the next week because of Croatia traveling. So that will be good. And we are also closely monitoring all of what we have discussed on the stream. Guys, that's it. Wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I catch you in the next live stream or video in this case during the next days. Stay tuned.